I'm Laird, and this is Galbraith from J&M Strength and Conditioning. And we're just going to kind of go through our general warm-up that we do with the people that just come into our class to kind of get their body working properly. Once they kind of master this, then we go into more specific type warm-up based on what they need. We're going to start by pulling the knee to the chest. The biggest thing we're looking for here is we want her to lay flat on her back and to stretch the glute. A lot of people will turn their pelvis and do all sorts of fun stuff. We used to do standing, pull the knee, but we found that too many people would fall forward, fall backwards. So we found that doing it on the floor is a lot better. We just don't want to force anything. So she's just going to do about 6 to 8 on each side. After that, we're going to go right into what we call a straight leg hamstring kick. You notice how she's pointing her toe right back towards herself, and her leg is straight. We actually call this like a leg lift because we don't want them to kick. We don't want them to go around their hamstring. We just want to get as much mobility as they can in the hips without forcing it. So this really helps with like RDLs and things like that to get them to be able to hinge, because most people are just so tight in the hamstrings because their glutes are weak and their hips are tight. So from there, what we're going to do is go to all fours, and we're going to do a retraction. And a lot of people will turn this into like a cat movement, which is not what we want. We want everything coming from the scapula and the low trap, so we want that fall and that glide. We find that most people struggle with even this. We just do the best we can. I'll usually put my finger here and I'll say squeeze the finger, come up, squeeze the finger. Most people's scapula just simply do not work. So we usually do 8 to 10 of those, and then we're going to go into circles, 10 each direction. We're looking for core stability here. We want movement from the hip. We don't want, hips to be loose and all over the place. We want that glute to work. Later on in the class, we might have them do a circle with a bigger range of motion in the hip, just like that. But we don't want like that pelvis shifting everywhere. We find that most people, when they come into our class, they can barely do these. So we want like 8 to 10 in each direction. And then we actually go up to the side. We call it peeing dog or fire hydrants. And we usually get about 8 to 10 of those on each side. Then after that, we go into quadruped rotation. What we're looking for here is we're looking for this trunk to be locked down nice and tight. We want her to get a range of motion through her thoracic spine, okay, and not through her low back. Most people I have to grab like this and actually hold them in that position to get them to do it, because they'll do all sorts of stuff. They'll do side bends. They'll do all sorts of crazy stuff. It's pretty amazing what people can do to actually get that range of motion. It's amazing how tight people are through the thoracic and also through their upper back. So this is just really something we need to do a lot of. From there, we're going to go into Spider-Man. And Molly's pretty good at this one. Most people, this is where most people are going to be at, like there. And what will happen is most people will like shift around. Like we get a lot of yoga people will come in here and they'll like, oh look, I'm really flexible. So we want to make sure we're square. We want to make sure we go into the tightness. Some people we found will also like super hyperextend their spine in order to get their motion. And then notice how our hips kicked out. So we just want to really make sure we come up in behind and we square, and we really IQ push into tightness. We don't want to go around tightness. We want to go into tightness. And squeeze that back glute, thank you. And then basically we get about 8 to 10. Everything's pretty much 8 to 10 on each side. After that, obviously she does both legs, but after that we're going to go right into clam. And the thing we're looking for here is that hip to be rounded over. And I'll actually grab people right in here like this and make them, because most people automatically will go like that. It's obviously exaggeration. We're looking for a tight core, and we're looking for that, just that glute to work. And we tell people, we cue people to drive their feet together just like that. And the same thing, 6 to 8 to 10. Sometimes we'll put a band on there and make them hold it. The reason we did the Spider-Man first was to get that hip opened up so that glute will fire. A lot of people's hips are just so tight up front, their glutes just do not work. And from there we're going to a glute bridge, and hopefully by now their glutes are activated enough that the glutes will actually work. We try and tell people, make sure that it's a majority glute, 70% glute, 30% hamstring, 60-40, something along those lines. We definitely don't want the hamstring, doing the majority of the work. consistently, they do really, really well. We're doing scap retraction. Okay, so a lot of people will like call this a prone cobra. We're not looking for that big hyper extension of the spine. All we're looking for is scapula here. We just want that low trap to fire, and that's it. A lot of people will have their arms out in front, do that with the Blackburn, they call it. We found people just are so tight that they just can't do that. So we've modified it just for this, just to get that scapula going. And really, we're not doing any kind of low back cueing at all. We're making sure that the feet are staying on the ground and that they're not raising the feet up, so we're not getting any of that like cobra type action. Is that everything you wanted to cover? Well, that's everything we wanted to cover. So that's pretty much what we do when we first start with people, and we've seen some pretty amazing results just from doing that, just helping people learn how to hinge and squat. If you do that consistently, people will